Hi Omar, a very warm welcome to the Melina Merkouri RENTIS Arena on the northeastern coast of Greece for more pool play action from the CEV Zeren Group Champions League here on Vero Volley TV. As home side Olympiacos PIRAEUS host Italian super club Numia Vero Volley Milano. Simon Golding with you for a match that ended 3-0 in favour of Milano in Italy earlier this season. Hopefully that all sounds okay. A very warm welcome to the Melina Merkouri RENTIS Arena on the northeastern coast of Greece for more pool play action from the CEV Zeren Group Champions League here on Vero Volley TV as home side Olympiacos PIRAEUS host Italian super club Numia Vero Volley MILANO. Simon Golding with you for a match-up that ended 3-0 in favour of Milano in Italy earlier this season, but Olympiacos have been really strong at home, and while Milano top Pool C with 3 wins in 4, Olympiacos have 2 excellent home wins and will be relishing the opportunity to have another crack at last year's Champions League runners-up, packed with superstars like Paola Egonu. Well, both coaches looking forward to this one in the build-up to the match. Both very complimentary of their opposition. From Olympiacos PIRAEUS' point of view, they have some excellent players, a lot of whom have had involvement with Italy in the past, so some good international stars alongside a very strong domestic group of players. And that means they've managed to get a couple of good victories. Their best, a 5-set win over Turkey club CEV ZEREN, and that was here at home in this arena. So as the players arrived a little earlier today, all smiles at the moment ahead of this one, but it's an important game for both teams, and they'll be looking for wins. Let's hear from the coaches.
How do you expect it?
Tough, because we have consciousness that Olympiacos home plays much better than for example, how it was our first game in the pool, and so we are expecting a totally different game. Also, you know, we know that here the atmosphere is different, and we are prepared for playing a good fight. We saw the games that we played versus Exarchibasi, and so for sure it will be difficult.
Coach, this is a tough game. How do you expect it?
Okay, first of all, I expect that we play one good game. About result, we will see. Really, it don't depends everything on us, because we play with one of the best teams in Europe for sure. And unfortunately, today we found out that our Jovana Stevanovic, okay, is a little bit sick, but she will miss today's game.
Well, there we go. Big news hot off the press. Jovana Stevanovic not available for Olympiacos today, and that's a big blow for them. Milano then in their dressing room, arrive in Greece on the back of a 4-win streak in Italy and victories over Olympiacos and OK Zelensica. But a 5-set loss to the Turkish side, CEV. That was a wake-up call, and if they want to qualify directly to the next round as pool winners, Milano need to keep those victories coming, but they have got an incredible group of athletes, real strength in depth. If the front line doesn't fire in what will be a tricky one here against Olympiacos, then they've got plenty of bench players to call on. Well, Olympiacos have had multiple lineup changes in Europe this season. They're going to have another one today with Stefanovic not available. Former Scandicci setter Isabella Diulio runs the show usually with this multinational group of quality players. And the likes of Amanda Conio, Milica Kubara, Ivana Vanyak and Kenya Karkeses all have great experience at this level. And they'll be starting alongside Greek stars like Emanuelidou and Fakapolidou and Terazoglu. And Olympiacos, this squad have proved that they can get results. I mentioned that 5-set win over CEV, and certainly Stefano Lavarini mentioning the fact that the opponents today play really well at home. So both captains then going to the toss. Paola Egonu, captain and Italian volleyball legend, looking after this Milano team, and on the other side of the net, middle blocker Angeliki, Melina, Emanuelidou. So the last of the warm-up phase underway. This will be an interesting one. Olympiacos need wins because they need to try and get back on track for their best possible qualification position. Numia Vero Volley MILANO will want to avoid getting bogged down in too many matches, particularly with the domestic situation as it is and that huge fight for the Scudetto title. So they will want to get things done as clinically as possible, which means a win today is important. but they'll have the crowd to play against as well as the home team. So that's how things look in Pool C. Milano at the top at the moment on 10 points. Is Azerbaijan not far behind? They play bottom club Zelenčíka. That's their next match, so that should be a win for the Turkey team, which means Milano really do need to get a victory, and preferably in 3-1 or 3-0. There's a number of sets in the result if they want to hold on to that top spot. We'd love to hear from you. You can join the conversation at hashtag CEV VolleyW for your opinions on the Champions League, the CEV Group Zeren Group Champions League going along very nicely. We've already had some superb matches at the pool level, and it rather whets the appetite to see if anybody so plenty of stars on both sides of the net, and there is one of the veterans, Kenya Karkasez of Cuba, 39 years of age now. Moved from Panathinaikos in the off-season to Olympiacos, but has played with Novara in the Italian league. And then in terms of the starting setter, Iliopolu and Isabella Giulio, the two stars in the playmaking lineup. The Italian setter, 34 years of age now, enjoying her time in Greece, but a former Scandici star. 18, Yasmin Abderrahim from Algeria, 25-year-old wing spiker, second season with this Olympiacos team. They've got plenty of power out on the wings. They've got some very canny middle blockers as well, and they're going to need to keep that pretty smooth in terms of keeping the scoreboard turning. Very important they control the Milano serve. Very important that they push hard to keep that side-out game nice and clean. On the other side of the net then, Juliette Gélin, the French Olympian libero, playing in the regular shirt. The libero starter will be Eleonora Facino in the different coloured shirt. And then in terms of point scoring, well, you don't need to look much further than the captain, Paola Igonu. She has been just huge again this season. And down the middle, fantastic stars. The Italian captain, Anna Danesi, Hena Kurtajic of Serbia, really superb middle blocking duo. Benedetta Maria Sartori in the number 10 shirt. She's had a bit of court time as well, and she has been very impressive, the Italian. And then in terms of the setters, Francesca Bossio and her backup, Cameron Miner of the USA, Italian USA, in the playmaking positions. And in comes the player in the number 4 shirt, Bossio, great defender, canny server, and if she can just get this offense rolling, then she's got an abundance of power. The likes of Pietrini and Lanya and Piva out on the wing. There's another of the Americans, just mentioned her name, Kalia Lanya, transferred from Conegliano after 2 seasons with the Panthers, came across to Milano, and she's been just a superb signing. Has been everything that Stefano Lavarini has wanted from that particular acquisition. Well, all pretty relaxed. Milano, I think, just trying to stay in the moment here, not make too much of this game. They know it's going to be a struggle away from home against an Olympiacos team that can cause problems in top gear. So that Milano serve, the chance to really force the setters away from the net on the other side, will be key, I think, to creating opportunities. And then they're going to have to make them. The player that will be looking to keep the scoreboard turning in the number 12 shirt for Olympiacos from Serbia, it's Kubara. Kubara in her 3rd season here in Greece, having signed from her former club in Germany, Dresden. Expect to see her out on the right side, and in the absence of Stefanovic, we will see who's going to get the start. Now then, there's the lineup for the opposition, and Stefano Lavarini with so many superstars to call upon for this one. Yes, they lost players in the off-season, the likes of Alessio Oro going to another favourite for the Champions League title, Fenerbahce, and Silla to Galatasaray. But the squad is ticking along nicely, despite no appearance in the Coppa Italia Frecciarossa. And from Olympiacos PIRAEUS' point of view, I think they've built a really nice team of experience and youth. They've managed to get some good overseas signings to come in and support really talented domestic players. And, Greece at the moment have an abundance of really good and experienced internationals at this level. But we will see how much they're going to miss Stefanovic today. So, whistle goes to just finish off the warm-up, and then we'll be into the formalities. Branko Kovacevic looking after this Olympiacos PIRAEUS team. On the other side of the net, another vastly experienced international coach, Stefano Lavarini, in charge of this Numia Vero Volley team. Second season with them and looking to push just one step further after a brilliant campaign last season, losing out in the super final to their Italian rivals, the Panthers of Prosecco d'Oca Carraro and Moco Conegliano. Well, for an Olympiacos home game, I have to say it's quite low-key at the moment. I think the crowd, even if they are not great in number, will be making themselves heard in this 1,600-seater arena in Rethmino. And once they get going, then Milano will know that they've got a game on their hands, that's for sure. Little reminder in the background of the record the Olympiacos have in Europe. They are the most successful Greek team on the big stage. Managed to win the challenge version of this competition, the CEV Challenge Cup back in 2018. That was their last big success for the 9-time Greek champions. Those European volleyball clubs that are part of a much bigger multi-sport setup. That has always been the case since the 1930s here at Olympiacos PIRAEUS. But volleyball, huge part of the success of that multi-sport club. Champions League anthem then, ringing out around the arena as the players get to eyeball their opposition. In this case, for the second time this season, after that really convincing victory by Milano at home in the Opiquad just before Christmas. They've got height, they've got power, they've got experience. Numia Vero Volley Milano in the blue. But can Olympiacos PIRAEUS bring that home advantage to the party in this one? And they are making Milano wait at the net for one last cheer. The Milano players seeing the funny side of that. Well, quite a few of these players know each other really well. Isabella Giulio, former Italian international setter, just saying hi to a few former colleagues, in particular Anna Danesi. And nice to see. Very nice to see. Milano's turn for a shout, having been denied a bit earlier. Right, we're going to meet the referees first of all. Once we've met the referees, then it'll be time for Stefano Lavarini to send his lineup out to the floor. Stanislav Simic will be our first referee from Serbia, and Ozen Kaji Sarakaya of Turkey will be our second ref. So officials in place. Now time for the coaches to reveal their first tactical hand of the day. So it will be Bossio setting. Pietrini's going to get a start through the left side. She's not featured all the time so far this season, but she's a really talented wing spiker. Very tall as well. Kurticic and Danesi, the brilliant middle blocking duo. It will be Kalia Lanya that is alongside Pietrini. That is an excellent left side duo, and if they get their ball control right on the pass, then they will be an absolute handful. Egonu is going to be opposite. Bossio sets Pietrini and Lanya out through the left side, with Danesi and Kurtajic down the middle. Eleonora Facino is the libero. On the other side of the net then, it will be Yasmin Abderrahim out on the wing, along with Kenya Carcassez. So Algeria and Cuba left side for Olympiacos. Number 2 will be the libero, Tekiano. So that's how they line up. Abderrahim and Carcassez out through the left side. Emonolidu and Tezoglu are going to be through the middle. Diulio sets, and Kubura is going to be in that opposite slot. So no big surprises there, maybe apart from Konio not getting a start. And remember, not available for this game is Jovana Stefanovic, the vastly experienced Serbian middle blocker. Branko Kovacevic then is the man who needs to try and get his team through what could be a tricky tie, especially if Stefano Lavarini's team get ball control and Olympiacos are not able to pressure with the serve. Then Milano are going to be a tricky test today, that's for sure. But Olympiacos have the players to certainly ask some questions. We're good to go then. Pool C action. Olympiacos Piraeus, the home side here in Greece in the red, get their 5th match of the campaign underway, their 2nd meeting with the Italian giants. Numia Vero Volley Milano in the blue. Team that beat them in 3 straight and relatively straightforward sets when they met in the Opiquod in Italy. And a good start from Kalia Lanya. She puts the first point on the board for the visitors. Thanks for your company. Thanks for joining us here on Euro Volley TV. Another cracking game in prospect. Simon Golding with you for this one. And Milano start with the strong suit. The blocking of Danesi slowing things down, but a nice comeback from Abderrahim. The Algerian international getting a 2nd swing and finding a really good line through to the floor. Kubara, Serbian opposite. She will be just a huge part of Olympiacos' challenge today. Good serve from her. Excellent pickup as well. Superb stuff from the Olympiacos right side. And Danesi's put it out. No touch on the block, despite Egonu's pleading with the coach. I don't think he wants to go there, does he? Oh, he does. He does. So, early video challenge action. And Stefano Lavarini's going to have a look at this one. I'm not sure he's going to get much for his team here. This is initially called as a hitting error by the referee. Second official, Ojan Shaji Sarkaya of Turkey. Just asking the video challenge technician to get to the correct frame on the correct camera. The super slow-mo cameras set up around every arena now at this level of volleyball will be able to show us if there was a brush off the block, although if it's coming off the forearms as opposed to the hands, it's a little trickier to see. The information from the video challenge relayed to our first official, Stanislav Simic. And it has to be information that is convincing enough to overturn the decision, remember, which has already gone Olympiacos' way. Well, bit of drama after just 3 points. Danesi wasn't sure, that's for certain. It was Egonu that called, I'm sure, for the touch, because it did look comfortably wide of the court, so I can't believe this is an in-out call. We'll wait to hear if there's a cheer from the home fans. Not judgeable. There we go, it happens now and again. now and again the technology is not there to review the decision properly, so it won't be conceded, it won't be a challenge lost by Stefano Lavarini, because the video footage was not available to see whether it was indeed a block touch. If that's what they were looking at, of course, it might be that. It might be that defensive effort from Kubero, which also looked pretty good as well. But Igonu, in amongst all of that, just calms it all down with her first point of the game. Her side-out capability, her transition hitting particularly out of system, and her serving will be majorly important for Milano today. Good dipper on Carcassez from Lanier, and another fine shot from Abderrahim. Nice control. Long way off the tape as well. 2 points for Abderrahim then, and she goes to the service line. Looking for a bit of heat on the jump serve. Gets it. Good pass. Good swing from Pietrini, but well controlled by Abderrahim off the block, and Carcassez hits hard, top of the fingertips. Well, that's what she's capable of. First point for Kenya Carcassez. Straight through the Danesi block. Well, lively start from Milano, but Olympiacos matching them. Another good hit. Lanier with a great pass. Bossio goes to Danesi for a bit of revenge. Nice setting choice there from Bossio. With a little hop and a skip into court for the float serve. Challenged and dug nicely by Bossio. Pietrini out of system, gets a good swing but well picked up by Atakanyu. And once again, left side working. So at the moment, the setter, Giulio, is exclusively going out to the wing spikers left side, and Carcassez and Abderrahim are doing their job well. Captain's turn. So Manuelidou, 30-year-old middle blocker, floats the serve deep, overpass, is dispatched by her middle blocking partner, Tezoglu. Tezoglu, first season here with Olympiacos. And a frown. A furrowed brow on the face of Stefano Lavarini. Some concerns. They've gone at it from the service line. Olympiacos doing exactly what they need to do. Towering, absolutely towering tip from Igonu. Now, while Igonu can come into a game as it goes on and be very influential later, I often think a lot of her early work is dictated by her early serving, and that's a good one. I think that shows she's in good nick here, and that'll do for the point. Error into the net. I think Kurtajic might have got a piece of that. I'll put her down for a block on that one. Good flowing serve from Igonu though first up. They close the gap to 1 now. Nice hit again. Abderrahim controls it. And Kubero from the back court finds a very nice angle into that far corner. Good set decision again from Giulio to trust Kubero to get it done second time around. So the Italian veteran setter, 175 to the back court, so it's a taller block now for Olympiacos. Nice, 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 nice. Paola Igonu's trademark cut shot out of the backcourt. Makes so many points like that. Pietrini next then. Playing left side with Lanier in this one. Good serve from her, but the control, excellent. Oh, lovely attack from Olympiacos. Tezoglu with the finish. Second point in the game for her. Convincing stuff. Carcassez, in her time with Navarra, very often came on the court and banged a bunch of aces, and that's a fine serve to start. Takes Milano out of system. Carcassez defends. Abderrahim in off the wing, and good defence from the libero Fasino. So nice hustle from Milano to take the point. Lania with the presence of mind to make sure she gives nothing away for free and finds the court. Kurtagic looking at Lavarini for the service indicator. Carcassez, good enough pass. Abderrahim again has found that corner. I think what the defenders are doing here, and quite rightly, is they're setting up to cover Bossio as the smaller blocker. They're expecting that ball to come over the top of the setter, down to position 6-1. And it's sensible hitting. It's just clever hitting from Abderrahim to send it into that unpatrolled far corner. First serve error from Olympiacos. They've been really strong up until that point from the service line. It's another huge block. Bossio to serve. Igonu with Danesi and Lanier front court. This will be a toughie. Out of the back line to Carcassez to isolate Danesi. Again, great thinking volleyball from Olympiacos. And Seta Giulio. Carcassez will do that all day long. 3 points for her, 3 points for Abderrahim. Kubura hasn't really featured at the moment, Serbian opposite, other than hitting those big serves. That's another out-of-system ball. Another tip from Igonu, easily patrolled. This time, that far corner covered by Fasino, and Lania brings the heat for the point. Well, Olympiacos did just about everything right here, but that is some get. And Fasino sets it up for the finish by Lania. Great slider. Bossio, brave defence. Pietrini tries the angle, and both liberos making some good touches here. Good change up. Carcassez working hard in position 6. She too making some great defensive touches. And eventually, just a little too strong from Milano, taking it away off the block again. Pietrini manages to score her first point of the match. 10-all. Very evenly matched start to the game. Kubera able to contribute. Nice feed from Giulio, and I think Milano, we're getting a feeling here for what they're going to try and do, which is to put pressure on the pass of Carcassez, and as phenomenally strong as she is as an attacker, can sometimes be tested on her serve reception. Good serve from Abderrahim. Bossio attacks the set. Pietrini can't finish. Not coming back though. Little unfortunate. Another great dig from Abderrahim, but Milano just piling on the pressure now. Tight pass, well set. Carcassez high and hard. Well, they had all the blockers stacked up on her angle. They had all the defenders stacked up on her angle, and she's still beating them. Points for the brilliant Kenya Carcassez. Just trying to drop the ball over the net. They do, but not successfully so this time. The Greek captain, the Olympiacos captain, is followed now by the captain of Milano. Pace off from Igonu. Tip is blocked well by Kurtagic. Yeah, that's Carcassez at her best. Didn't get it put away first time, but second time around knows she can go straight up and over the top of Bossio. And does so really well. 5 points in the game then for the Cuban. Giulio back to the line. Serving against former Scandicci player Pietrini. Was it missed? It's missed. No, it's in. Referee says in, coach says out. More in hope then. Very nicely done by Gonu. That is a challenge. So Branko Kovacevic thinks this was wide of the line, but I think even with a deft tip like that, the compression on them, the Mikasa ball is going to take it to the line. Pressure's on, especially now the video challenge technicians are in vision as the referee asks them to search for the appropriate frame. You need an understanding of volleyball to be able to access the correct camera first and foremost, and then the correct section of footage. And our second referee is trying as hard as he can to locate the footage, but I think we've got another problem here. I think we may have another unchallengeable. Although, by the sign language there, you would say referee Sarakaya is suggesting there is something to look at. And that's the only view that we could see. It's a view, though, that clearly shows the ball is compressed on the line. It is in. Challenge lost. Point lost for Olympiacos. Neither coach forced into a timeout just yet. I'm just trying to find their way into the game. They'll be happy with 13 all at the moment, as will coach Lavarini after going 3 down early. This is a good recovery. And at last, the Olympiacos fans have joined the party. Some whistling to greet the serve of Pietrini, and there'll be plenty of cheers to greet the finish from Kubera. Kubera then on 3 points after another block-out swing off Lanya this time. And back to the Carcasses jump serve. Didn't get the throw right, but it's produced a good serve from it. Tricky hit. Lanya connects well. Nice defense from Olympiacos. Carcasses out of the back line. She's unstoppable at the moment. 6 points in the game then for Kenya Carcasses. Might have a first timeout on the way. Yep, Stefano Lavarini decides to stop this first set for a chat with his players. A little bit of pressure again for the Italian club.
Dobbiamo rischiare qualcosina in più sulla super, sul parallelo, ma poi il piano di rimbalzo a muro, ragazzi. Ste mani devono essere composte, invadenti, ferme, piuttosto c'è un po' di buco con gli esterni, ma sentite che murate la palla con le mani. Dai, forza!
Well, you can debate all you want about the various skills of this sport of volleyball, and there are multi-skills and they are all quite complex, but I think passing in an arena where you're not used to passing a volleyball is a really tricky thing to get used to. And Milano have only had the one training session to try and get a look at the backdrop and try and get a feel for the flight of the ball in here. But full marks to Olympiacos. They are going after it from the service line, and at the moment it's working. Nice side out. And an invaluable side out from Igonu. 5 points for her. And while Olympiacos have served tough, Milano have not really gone after the Olympiacos players. Just happy to put it on to Carcasses and hope for the best. Kubara's missed this. Referee certainly called it out to start with. Are we going to get another challenge? We are. So let's hope we haven't got time to make a cup of tea on the back of this one. And our video challenge technician has been replaced. Substitution. And that was far quicker. There we go. I'm just wondering if it was a late arrival. In which case our initial technician's done a wonderful job of trying to keep the show on the road. But there we go. Successful hit and a good one as well from Kubara. That was nailed on the paintwork. Good pass from Lanya. Allows the middle to be opened up. Danesi will be looking forward to plenty of those today, as will Kurtajic. They've been brilliant, those two. It's been an absolute joy to watch them in harness down the middle for Milano this season. Bossio gets it all wrong. It's just inviting pressure. Now, the only bonus at the moment for Milano is that Igonu is front court. Bossio, 3 rotations in the back line, so slightly bigger block. 3 attackers front court. But out of system is out of system. And those 3 attackers not available, let alone the 4th out of the back line. Oh, massive. Absolutely massive. Probably the best blocking lineup out there on the court. Danesi next to Igonu. And they get Abderrahim on the first one. Then the bump pass out of system is a little better, but Abderrahim can't find a way past. Good slide. Really good slide. I love those aggressive wide balls. Emanuelidou more than happy to just launch off 1 foot out to the antenna and swing hard. That's a great piece of work from the captain. And nearly a smile from coach Branko Kovacevic. 3rd visit to the service line then for the hard-hitting Abderrahim. Great serve, tight one, and good read. Bossio didn't really have the opportunity to get that ball to any other player than Danesi. And Tazolo has done a really good job here, committing to the block, knew it was going there, and went after it. In fact, it was Emanuelidou, who the captain, my apologies. Second point for her with that massive stop. 2-point lead again for Olympiacos, and they have to call upon Paola Igonu once more, Milano, to get it down and get that scoreboard turning. So, tactical substitution. Benedetta Maria Sartori comes into the game for Anna Danesi. Sartori, another middle blocker, and a tall middle blocker at that, but she has a slightly more powerful serve. Puts a bit on it. Carcassez still keeps the ball going towards the setter. Good defence from Pietrini. Igonu volleys line. Abderrahim reads it nicely, and Kubara sends it into that far corner. We might have another challenge on the way here. Referee says out. And if Branko Kovacevic disagrees, he's got to call a challenge, but he doesn't look like he wants to. No, it is Milano's point. And he's not called a timeout either. Interesting from the Olympiacos coach. 19 all. Out of system play. This will be tricky for Carcassez, but hits it well. Deflection, I think, just caught Kurtajic out here. Well, there's that previous swing. Oof, it did look very close. But it wasn't challenged. And not a problem, as Carcassez has done her job. And the coach has got it just right, deciding not to go for the timeout, just let it flow. '19, Olympiacos in good shape here. Pietrini gets the ball to go at, defended well by the captain, Emanuelu. Nice touch from Fasino. Milano very lucky that that ball was recycled, allowing Igonu to put the final touch on it for her 8th point of the game. Good scramble from Fasino, nice set from Bossio. 20 all. Business end. Almost a game within a game here in this first set. And goodness me, Igonu has blown that one way out the back. Kubera comes in, so it was a double substitution. Should have picked up on that one for Olympiacos PIRAEUS from coach Branko Kovacevic, and it's worked pretty well. CEV Zeren coming in along with Oikonomidu as the setter opposite substitution, so we'll keep an eye on that one in future sets, but it's certainly done its job. Giulio back on, Pietrini, good pass, ball to Igonu, is defended brilliantly by Abdurrahim. Chance for Kubera, just tries the tip, and Kurtajic is just the past master at changing the timing on her block to accommodate the finesse shots. She makes a lot of those blocks in a game. Second block for Kurtajic, nothing in offense yet for the Serbian. Pietrini then, next with the jump serve off the back of the Igonu error. Puts it in well. Out of system ball for Kubera. Doesn't make the shot, Bossio. Oh no! Puts it up nice and high for Fasino to come in and set it to Igonu, and it slips straight through her hands. Big opportunity missed. Karkasez getting roared on by this growing Olympiacos crowd. This is a real chance to extend the lead, and she's missed. Well, pressure on always makes the serving shoulder that little bit tighter. Sartori on, straight off again. And back in comes Danesi, front court. Kurtajic to serve at 22 all. Holds her nerve just. The overpass is collected by Danesi, and Igonu slaps it away off the block. Well, full height, full jump Igonu, and full reach on that spike. She's going to be able to outdo Abdurrahim at 182, and Igonu makes the most of the mismatch. Timeout at last by coach Kovacevic. Well, how many times do we see it here on Vero Volley TV, but the higher ranked team, when we get to the business end of a set, just pushes away. Olympiacos have done their very best to stop that happening, but for the moment Milano just have a little bit of momentum on their side. If not the tallest block, remember Bossio, a potential target at just 180, the setter. Let's see where Giulio decides to go for Olympiacos. Pass is okay. Goes out wide to Abdurrahim. She goes off the top of Bossio, but it's collected by Pietrini, and Lania scorches it into that far corner. Fabulous hit from the American. And it's 2 set points for Numia Vero Volley Milano, and a second timeout for Branko Kovacevic of Olympiacos. Well, I think Olympiacos have risked plenty in this first set, and a lot of what they've done has brought reward. They're very unlucky to be 2 set points down here, but Milano have worked hard to earn this. And Kurtajic will serve again. Dipping serve, tricky to play, but played beautifully. Giulio making a bold decision with this set. Lovely finish from Terzoglu. However, the luxury of being able to attack to win the set. Most clubs at this level would take that if you'd offered it to them. Milano have got to do just that. Egonu will be favourite to get the ball along with Lania out on that far side. Serve is good, pass not so good from Pietrini. Egonu gets it out of the back line and, well, fluffs her lines. Golden opportunity to win the set. Passes Milano by. Only Egonu error. She apologises to the rest of her team. And Kyriaki Terzoglu gets to serve again, 24 all. Pietrini, better pass. Defended brilliantly by Conio. New onto the court, and there we go. Substitute has done her job. Collecting the ball nicely off the top of the block. And the feed to Kubara is a really good one from Giulio. Just going percentage, and it's worked a treat. Second timeout for Stefano Lavorini and his team. From 2 set points up, find themselves a set point down.
Campo è inutile, se chiudi deve essere stretto, se no vai in profondo 5-6. Dai ragazzi, c'è il centrale in difesa, occhio alla battuta che tende a calare. Vamos, vai!
Well, 2 very good serves from Terzoglu. Has gone after Pietrini, and Pietrini has put the ball on the 3-meter line, so no middle available for Bossio. And it's just limited the attacking options, and the blockers have done a really good job to slow the ball down. Conio, the Colombian international, on court in the back line to defend. Gets the ball nicely in a timeout that serves a function. Just disturbs the concentration of Terzoglu, who serves out. Well, this has worked pretty well for Milano. 25 all, Bossio back line. Egonu returns to the court, the front court and the net. And they avoid it by simply going middle again. Giulio running a fabulous show front court. Emanuelidou, the captain, very strong on that little sea ball. Brings set point number 2 for the home side. Kubara to hit the ball hard. And in, Pietrini once again drags Bossio to the 3-meter line. Lania is defended by Conio off the block. Chance to win the set. And underneath it, Pietrini keeps it off the floor. Lania, line, Conio, great defence from her. Oh, magnificent volleyball from Olympiacos PIRAEUS to claim the first set. And a run of stunning defensive plays from the substitute, Amanda Conio. That's the pick of them there, down the line off Lania. That'll do it for the set. Olympiacos lead Milano by a 1-0. It's a long one as well, wasn't it? At 32 minutes, I think Milano don't want to get involved in a protracted game here that's going to go long, particularly with the matches they have coming up and the Lega Volley Femminile. They're going to have to if they want to win this. Didn't take either of their 2 chances. Olympiacos took their second chance and took it well. So if you watch a lot of volleyball with us here on Euro Volley TV, I'm sure you will have spotted the patterns emerging in this game now. I think Giulio has managed to keep a nice varied offence for Olympiacos, but that is of course a product of the fact Milano's serve hasn't done much damage at the moment. And the ball control from the home team has been excellent, which allows Giulio to run what she wants. At the moment, Carcassez, Abderrahim, and in that opposite position, Kubra have done a very good job. But I did like Giulio's daring do by bringing in far more middle option. And those middles have attacked really well. Captain, Emanuelidou, and the other middle, Kyriaki Tozolu, whose service run also kept her team in the first set. It's very good from Olympiacos. It's got the home fans going as the crowd starts to come in to the Melina Merkouri RENTIS arena. And now things are going to get tricky for Milano with the crowd right on side. Away we go with set two. Numia Vero Volley Milano in the blue, chasing the match. 1-0 down against the home side, Olympiacos PIRAEUS, whose home form is out of this world. Great start from Melissa Kubra. 6th point for the Serbian opposite. Milano have to up the ante from the service line, because that's what Olympiacos have done. They've pushed hard, tested the passes, and there have not been a lot of attacks where every single player is available, and Bossio has missed Danesi's second time around after some phenomenal defence to keep Danesi's first attack off the floor. 2-0 start. Perfect from Olympiacos. And another big serve from Kubra. Hit very hard by Lanya, goodness me. Abderrahim and the libero, Takionu, have been really brave in those angles, defending both Pietrini and Lanya. Lanya, those scores. 5 points in the match for the American. And she serves. Carcassez is still not getting attacked enough by Milano. Good recycle from Abderrahim off the block of Igonu, and it's another out-of-system ball. And the Italian superstar into the antenna. Not a lot she could do with that, in fairness to Paola Igonu. Quite double figures yet for Paola. Carcassez, the best of the scorers on the other side of the net. I think she's on to 7 now. And Abderrahim's had a fine game left side. Her serving has been brilliant. Another tough one for Bossio. And there's the athletic prowess of former Italian international Elena Pietrini. Fell out of favour with the international squad, had injuries that she's had to come back from, but she's started to look back to her best this season. Massive, absolutely monster. And all the Olympiacos captain Emanuelidou can do is smile it off, because that was a very, very big block from Pietrini. Followed by a disappointing serve that just robs Milano of any momentum. Stefano Lavarini was cautious about Olympiacos' home form in his pre-match interview. He's completely justified. Another great serve. Fasino tested. Igonu forced to tip again. And the block is keeping Milano in it right now. Kurtagic with another monster. Very good technician, Kurtagic. 4th block of the match. Egonu takes it a little bit harder. Abderrahim with a good pass, and Karkasez this time manages to use the Karadzic block to Olympiacos' advantage. Italian setter then, Isabella Giulio with the serve. Just over, Kurtagic gets to it. Pietrini isolated, he's dug easily by Atakionu. And that's so clever. It's so clever from Kenya Karkasez. Oldest player out there at 39 years of age, and just looking like she's having a great time. Matches Egonu, 9 points apiece now for the two top scorers. Giulio goes again. In the middle, he's out from Kurtagic. There's no fluidity at the moment to Milano's offense. Not a lot wrong with that ball. Kurtagic has just wailed it wide. (7-4). 3-point lead for the home side to work with. And he's cancelled immediately by a double-figure swing from Paola Egonu. 10 points and counting from Egonu. Not a lot of difference in the efficiency rating for both these teams on side out. At last, they force Karkasez out of system. Allows Facino to set up on the angle. And Lania can't beat the block. They reset. Lania this time whacks it out of play. Well, any of you that have played in big arenas will know what it's like. You go to a different arena and sometimes it just feels weird. You just can't get your timing, and Milano are struggling here to find that timing. Fortunately for them, Egonu looks pretty steady right now. Simic not quite ready. Away we go now. Kurtagic. Jump float down the line. At last, they've got something off the arms of Karkasez. As brilliant as she is, that is an element to her game that teams will attempt to test, and Milano at last have found a serve to test her. Kurtagic ace. Again, out of system pass. Tight ball for Kubera, and the blockers in the Italian league do not let that go without scoring. Danesi Lania set up well for the finish. Lania gets all of it. 6th point of the game for her. Kurtagic to serve again. And it looks at last that Milano have found a way of testing the pass of Karkasez. And again, Kurtagic really going after her here. Second ace for the Serbian middle. Substitution coming, and it's no surprise. The ball control of Amanda Conio, the Colombian international, is required. And she comes. Now, will Kurtagic just go after the substitute instead? No, sends it across to the other side to Abderrahim, and Abderrahim's pass is excellent. Little ponderous on the middle set to Tozzolo, and a good read from Danesi for the block. Slightly earlier timeout, and he'll be disappointed, Branko Kovacevic, because the team were in really good shape early in this second set. Real uplift in Greek women's volleyball over the last few years. They've produced some fabulous players, some of whom have made their way across to various leagues around the world. Kurtajic long and deep. Abderrahim passes well enough, but this time gets it high and hard off the hands of Danesi. But that was a damaging service run from Kurtajic and Milano. Good score from Abderrahim. Zolu, a good service run in the first set. Teslania on that one. Milano's pass has got to be better than this. Gonu has managed to get a piece of the blocker's fingertips there, but this Milano pass is consistently dragging Bossio out to the 3-meter line. It's making life very tricky for the Milano setter. Bossio in the back line now. Gonu returns to the front court. Chance for Milano to push. Dug by Pietrini. Bossio sends it wide to Lagna. Finds a good angle. Lagna scores again. How quickly a game can change. The serving run from Kurtajic did all the damage off the arms of Carcassez for 2 aces. And now Milano look like a different team. The confidence is up at the moment for the Italians. And the lead grows still further with the Lagna block. Crowd gone a little quiet here. Good pass from Conio. Kubera once again slowed down by the blockers. In turn, Olympiacos stop Igonu. And the rally continues. Conio out of the back line, doesn't hit it hard enough to beat Bossio. Igonu's going to stay patient, just volleys it over. Nice work, very nice work from Olympiacos. Kubera puts it away, but I think the whistle had already gone for a net touch on Milano. Kubera to serve, got a good whip of an arm. Really gets some fizz on the ball. Dealt with by Fossino. Better pass, not a great set. They're going to get away with this, but Bossio to Danesi there was very tentative. Well finished by Danesi. It's a strange 4-point lead that's come out of nothing. 3 points up at Olympiacos in the early phase. Abderrahim taken out of the attack. Good coverage again by the blockers. Looks like Pietrini has managed to get Lidu. Yeah, she's got her nicely. 5 points for Pietrini, 2 of them. Very good blocks. What a dig from Fossino. Bossio just about makes her ground. Pietrini hits the ball well enough. And what was Igonu watching? Didn't look like she was fully engaged in the rally here. Just stood and watched the ball hit her foot. Good bit of revenge there for Lidu. Abderrahim just long. Might get a challenge here. Nope. Coach Kovacevic keeping his powder dry, not interested this time. 16-11, Danesi to serve. Milano away and clear now. Overpass, dispatched. And the ball control that was so good from Olympiacos in set 1 is drifting. And the further down you go on the scoreboard, the tougher it is to keep your service pressure. Second timeout for Olympiacos.
Cover. They have to attack. They have good block. but cover, cover, cover. Don't be like Egonu in cover. Egonu don't care for cover, but
Cheeky. Cheeky from Branko Kovacevic. Don't be like Egonu in cover. Let's hope Paula didn't hear that. She will not be impressed. I have a funny feeling Paula Egonu may direct Branko Kovacevic's attentions to the 12 points she's scored in the match so far. She's allowed to miss the odd cover. Danesi to go again. Nice swing. Nice swing from Amanda Conio. She's only 177, the Colombian international, but she gets some serious elevation. She's whacked that hard and deep to beat Lanya. So Conio stays on front court ahead of Carcassez. I suspect Kovacevic will give Carcassez a break through this set and bring her back in a little later. We'll see how Conio does. Can't defend Pietrini on that occasion. Generally, Egonu has served well. Missed an important one, though, at the back end of the first set, which allowed Olympiacos to create pressure again. Don't think that miss is going to be too damaging. She's set very well today again, Giulio. She always was class. That is very, very hard hitting. Egonu demolishing that ball on the angle. Beats her former international teammate, Giulio. From Pietrini, Abderrahim shanks the pass. Conio comes in, way in off the line. Pietrini keeps it off the floor, goalkeeper style, and then Egonu finds plenty of clear court again. On her way to 15 points at the moment, Paula Egonu. That's a super piece of work from Pietrini. It's another good serve. Conio passes well. Pokey defense from Egonu. And then rolls it into play. Abderrahim defends well. And good hit from Kubera, who's been a little bit quiet for the last few minutes. The Olympiacos right side. Good try from Facino. To serve again. It's in play. It's out. Oh dear. Well, that was different. Another very tentative middle set from Bossio to Kurdacic. Kurdacic doesn't hit it particularly well. Off the head of Abderrahim in the end. It'll do for the point. Kurdacic, who created the comeback and then the lead, serves again. And good hit from Abderrahim. Both teams into some rhythm at the moment, so side-out game ticking along nicely enough. But it's more than just a side-out game that Olympiacos need right now. They need some real work with ball in hand. Big defence needed here from the Greek team. Rangy hit from Lanya. She thinks there's a touch here. No, says Kubera. I think Stefano Lavarini's decided to have a look. But the blockers don't confess to any touch. Video technician on the ball. Fingers like an opera pianist, dancing across the keyboard to find the right frames. quick as a flash. Good piece of work. So ball out, challenge lost. We'll keep an eye on that. That may come back to bite Stefano Lavarini later in the set. We'll see. Kyriaki Tozolu to serve. Dipper on Lania. And a good enough swing from Igonu. Bossia's getting tested here. She's getting pulled away from the net almost every single pass. And when it isn't pulled away from the net, she's getting put right on the tape. There's nothing smooth and comfortable about the Milano pass at the moment. Full marks to Olympiacos for making it so. And full marks to Anna Danesi for not only making the block, but staying out of the net. Bossia waits to serve. Igonu comes to the front court. Olympiacos makes some changes. It's a fine out-of-system ball there. So I think it's the double substitution again, which if it was the same as set number one, Elizabeth Leopolou is coming in as the backup setter. The 7 shirt. It is actually just the one substitution. Kubera stays on court. I think Coach Kovacevic will be considering his options for set 3 already. I think one of those options is to bring Carcases back into it. Wouldn't be surprised to see her back on the floor for set 3. Lots of set points then for Milano. Kubera has put it out of bounds. She's not sure about it. They've got challenges left, so if Coach Kovacevic wants to look, he can have a look. Through the arms of the blockers. Maybe. It would have to be a big compression to be on the line and in. I think they've found this fairly easily. Don't think this is going to go Olympiacos' way. It doesn't. There we go then. Numia Vero Volley Milano, after losing set 1 and getting off to a sticky start in set 2, come flying back. And now the Italians look like favourites once again. They've levelled the match at 1 set all. Really strange. Olympiacos PIRAEUS there playing so well. 3 points up, really forcing the issue, and then a brilliant run from Hena Kurtajic to pick on the pass of Kenya Carcases. And that was enough to get that scoreboard moving in a positive manner. Once they got up by a couple of points, there was no stopping them, and the block organisation from Milano, excellent. And some good strong serves as well. Those 2 aces from Kurtajic off the arms of Carcases, forcing Coach Kovacevic to make the substitution and not Amanda Conio. Well, you'd have to say, on the evidence of the last 10 minutes or so, Milano now in a good position to win this match. Olympiacos PIRAEUS and coach Branko Kovacevic, I would imagine, likely to go back to the original lineup. He's got to get the height and power. Kenya Carcass's back on the floor. They've got to find a way of covering her on that serve reception, otherwise Milano are going to look to target her once again, and that was the main bonus in terms of getting their game moving. So hard fought first set. Olympiacos won it 27-25, but a good comeback from Milano. From 3 points down early in set two, they romped it. So just about good to get things underway in the third. One set all. Olympiacos PIRAEUS of Greece, the home side. We're in the Melina Merkouri RENTIS arena in northeastern Greece. Playing really well in the first part of this game, but rather let things get away from them against the visitors. Numia Vero Volley MILANO in the blue in the second set, so that's why we're one set apiece. Good opening rally. Low set. Danesi hits it hard, but Carcassez with good defence. Kubera gets a recycle off the block and the rally continues. Thrashed out of play, but via the block. Bit of a lung buster to start things off, and one of the veterans out there, Isabella Diulio, just feeling the pace a bit, but enjoyed that one. Now, Amanda Conio is still on court, but she's actually on court ahead of Yasmin Abdarrahim. Carcassez has made her way back to the floor. And already, Olympiacos making defensive touches once more, but Conio's missed the follow-up. Great set from Diulio. Wonderful blocking from Milano. And superb reactive defence from Olympiacos. They're working very hard out there, the home side. Big, really big from Lanya. Once again, fixes the angle and drills it. Super defensive touch from Conio. (2-1) Milano. Olympiacos got to work hard. Free swing from Conio. Not sure what happened there. Yeah, Egonu jumped with the wrong player. Danesi ran straight into her. And Conio gets a warm-up hit. She won't miss those. 2-all. Kubera into the net. Now that's something that Olympiacos do not want to see. Kubera has to stay on top of it in this match, and her serving has to remain strong through the game. She'll get another go, if not 2 or 3 in this set, depending how close the scores are. And out of the back line, rather an easy pick for the blockers again. Danesi just fixing Kubera. And the finish is really good. Short serve from Lanya. Control for Olympiacos has rather disappeared for the moment, and they are paying the price. Milano making the points look pretty easy. Pietrini with the finish. Return ball swing from Conio, but the Colombian is defended by Facino. Pietrini defended in turn by Carcassez. Antonio comes in and roasts it. Now, I would have expected Danesi to get on the end of that and get really right across into the angle, but Conio just so good at coming in to fetch that ball. That's a lovely shot. Danesi thought she'd done enough, but couldn't stop the Colombian. She tries a short serve. Facina controls it, and a very smooth cutaway to the line from Igonu. Her first point of this third set. Danesi and this Milano team look calm and confident now, and once more Carcassonne exposed. Both middles then have aces now in this game. First time out in set 3, called by Branko Kovacevic.
We stop to make service, they start to make little better, but we stop to make aggressive serve. Don't stop.
Plenty of teams from the region. Northeast Greece. Rethymno, right up on that top coastline. And lots of teams in to watch this Olympiacos squad in action. Lots of quite famous faces around from women's volleyball playing with other teams here in Greece in to watch. Block gets control, good counter block from Igonu on Carcassonne. Pietrini does really well to get a hand on that, but can't bring it back into play. Carcassonne gets the point. Double figures for her. Some work there from Igonu. Nice coverage from the libero Takiona. Serve from the captain. Tough ball for Lania. Pietrini hits it well. Carcassonne stands up to the defence, and that's turned out of play from Kurtajic. So blocking today's been awesome, serving's been awesome, but Kurtajic's offence is way off. Cheap point given back by Milano to their opponents, and they can't afford too many of those. Manolidou serves again, this time without success, and straight off the back of the Greek captain's serve, we go to the captain of the Italian squad here in Milano, or in the Milano team, Paolo Igonu. Slightly more powerful, but the same result. Slides it to the floor. Pietrini with a great pass. That's the kind of serve that Olympiacos were using so well in set 1, and it's removing one of the offensive players because Pietrini having to go to the floor to pass, so restricts the options, allows defenders and blockers to really set up, but they can't make it work on that occasion. Another problem out of play. And once again, Milano extend the lead relatively easily. Just underlines the value of ball control in any level of volleyball. Seven counting then for Pietrini, going along steadily. Nice serve. Good pass, Conio. Good quick tempo through the middle, but well defended. Tazolu can't make the point. Igonu can via the hands of the block. She wasn't in doubt for a second that she caught Carcassonne there. Second timeout for Olympiacos.
Defense in out, these are stupidities, not okay, we fight, but without stupidities, please. I think focus and play.
Well, Milano looked angry at the end of set one for losing it with 2 set points to play with. But prior to the match, in the warm-up, and then since they started coming back in set two, they've looked very chilled. Body language is positive. Players look happy, and they're starting to play. Karkasez chooses to play that one. It might have been going out. Nice defense off the block by Konio. Karkasez hits again. Block is successful again. And slows it down. Block for Milano here, controlling proceedings, and shoved down the front of the Olympiacos block by Kalialanya for another point. She's into double figures with Karkasez, Kubera and Igonu. Slightly worried now, Coach Kovacevic. Well, they've made the point. Kubera's come up with a very good hit there of Kurtajic, I think, but there's no way that Tazolu should be passing that ball in front of Konio. So the player's just getting a little out of shape. On the Olympiacos side of the net, they need somebody to restore order. Can Karkasez do it with the serve? Pass is easy for Sino. Kurtajic still struggling to find the floor. Does Bossio go to her again? No. Pushes it out wide to Lanya, and that was a set that was never going to work. Bossio just changed her mind very late on that one. Good defense. Great work from Giulio. And she set up the opportunity to win the point. And there's your problem when you play Milano. Paola Igonu is never far away from being the next player in action. And when she does come into the game, it tends to be positively for Milano. Nearly on 20 points now, Paola Igonu. Karkasez, another out-of-system pass. Nice set from Giulio. Defended well by Pietrini down the line. And Lanya, once again, not really given a chance to swing on the ball there. It's very much part of the modern game that you put the ball as tight to the tape as you can in those situations. Block does its job really well. Maybe she could have got a swing on that. Anyway, block is successful. Defense, unlucky. That's a really good effort from the middle blocker, Tazolu. So Bossio once again to the service line, and when you see Bossio at the service line, you know Milano have a big front line. Igonu returns to block. They go the other way to Kubera, who hits another fine angle. She's a good player, isn't she? So Kubera is relishing her opportunities here at Olympiacos, and she's being given a lot of responsibility in matches and really delivering. Double sub, yeah. So we're going to get Elizabeth Iliapolu on to work as the playmaker from the backcourt. I think it's Okonomidu who comes on in the front line as the replacement opposite. So two domestic players, two Greek players in for an Italian and a Serbian, but not to any effect, not when you've got a player of Igonu's quality. She's hit that from so high. Wow. Stunning for 20 points. Kaminu welcomed to the court with a power swing from Igonu. Power from Konio is out, no touch on the block, no challenge forthcoming. Just the error. And I'm afraid from Olympiacos PIRAEUS' point of view, this third set has gone. Going to be very tough to recover from here. Good containment. Good swing from Konio. She hits it really well. Pietrini gets another go, equally good, but what a pickup from Atakionu. And again from the libero. Good awareness. Kubera volleys, easy C for Igonu. And Pietrini tips. This is an absolutely massive extended rally. Konio finishes with ease, but that was a tough one. That would have taken a bit of gas out of the legs, which is Olympiacos' chance now to try and put some pressure on. So it's got to be in, it's got to be a serve with pressure. They've got to make Milano play here and get to 12 at least. No, too good from Danesi. Little more flow to that attack from Bossio. Once again, a good serve to take Pietrini out of the attack, but Danesi available. Good pass from Pietrini. Danesi will serve. 17-11 then, Milano. Sounded like a weird couple of noises there, but I think it was the miss hit from Carcassez that produced that kind of echoing sound. So no touch off the block, just a straight hitting error once again from Olympiacos. Too many of those in this last set and a half. That is just quality though. Hena Kurtajic with a monster block on Amanda Konio. Did you hear that from the substitutes bench for Milano? A solitary monster block voice. Love it. Good work. Well, big shoes to fill. Konomidu coming in to replace momentarily Kubera. Does a great job. That substitution will be reversed after 3 rotations, but once again, it's been relatively effective. Manolidu. Ace. Serving between Pietrini and Lania. Lania's the backcourt wing spiker, but didn't take responsibility here. Left it for Pietrini. No way she's going to pass that one. Way too deep, way too accurate. And another ace from the Greek captain. Tight ball. Punched down to the floor from Kurtajic. Just doing the basics there. Seven-point cushion on the scoreboard means Paola Igonu has license to swing hard here. Once again, the net intervenes. Yeah, that was interesting, and that's why you need your experienced players. 33-year-old Maria Konomidu just having to say to Branko Kovacevic, the coach, did you want us to play on, or are we reversing the double sub? And the coach does indeed call Diulio back to the line. And into the front court, Kenya Carcassez returns. And system pass from Pietrini, isolated on the hit. Konio decides against going for that from the base for the back line. And Kurtajic is defended once again. Takaniu is having a really good game at libero. A nice touch from Tazolu. Carcassez to finish. Out, off the net and away. Mistake again. So back-to-back hitting errors with a substitution in between for Kenya Carcassez. And for Olympiacos, their challenge is fading. Serve, good pass from Conio and a scary set from Giulio. Well, Terzolo enjoyed this. She's made herself available, and that's a hell of a set. Brilliant. Points for Terzolo. She's had a good game. And back in comes the starting left side, Yasmin Abderrahim. Good tracking from Bossio. Defended by Giulio. She's hurt her arm there, Giulio, on that defence of the Lanya shot. And Giulio's in trouble here. Giulio is in trouble. I'm not sure she's going to be able to set this next ball, let alone anything else. Well, she does, but she's in pain. Still clutching that arm and has to set one-handed, and Giulio's not going to be able to play any further part in this set by the looks of it. Oh, she's still really holding that arm after the set. And finished by Gonu after a brutal rally, and Giulio shaking her head. Now may need some treatment here. She's already been subbed, remember, on the double sub, so that's not going to work very well for Olympiacos. They need to be taped up to see if she can carry on, but if she can't carry on, it's trouble for the home team. In more ways than one. It's the last thing you need when you've already made the substitution. She just got handcuffed on the Lanya line shot, and it's absolutely pinged her wrist. And let's just hope it's just a stinger. Giulio still stretching it out and trying to wiggle that wrist and get it going again. In comes Benedetta Maria Sartori at the service line. Good ball in court. Giulio still not looking comfortable, but it'll do. Conio makes the shot. Just. Six-point deficit still for Terzolo at the service line, and Olympiacos to try and recover. Lovely serve. Good pass from Fasina. Good swing from Lanya. Abderrahim defends well. And another great defensive touch. Igonu somehow keeps that off the floor. Bossio reacts well. And brilliant, absolutely brilliant from Pietrini. Oh, wow, Milano at their best there. Three magnificent defensive touches to deny Olympiacos. Delighted to say it looks like Giulio has recovered from tweaking her arm. Paola Igonu giving Stefano Lavarini a withering look. Goodness me, that's miles out. Or kilometres out. Anyway, Milano kind of just stumbling their way through to what is going to be a pretty easy third set win for 2-1. 22 points for Igonu, going well. Well, I would imagine Branko Kovacevic, if Giulio is fit to play, he's going to have to go pretty much with his starting lineup again. Interesting to see if he does decide on some changes. 6 set points, Lanya serves. Milano should be 2-1 momentarily. Here's the chance. Given to Pietrini. Launches it. Bossio goes middle. Danesi blocked. Igonu tidies it up and gets a much tougher ball to hit. Works it off the blockers, but Olympiacos not going to let this go without a fight until Kubera puts it out of play. She's not done much wrong, Kubera, but that one well wide of the target. 25-17 then. Vero Volley Milano lead by 2-1 here in Greece. Well, knowledgeable Olympiacos fans understanding the momentum in this game right now, but also understanding the two relative forms of the team. But they're watching, and their home side have lost their way a bit here. Milano have just upped the ante from the service line. They're getting pretty much everything right inside out. And it's 25-17, 25-17. But maybe the most important change is that Milano have found the same sort of defensive rhythm that Olympiacos have had for most of the match, and they're working really hard to keep this ball off the floor. And everything else pretty well organised. 2-1 then to the visitors as they look for another win here in Pool C. Some absolutely stunning rallies in that last set. I reckon we had 4 really extended rallies that probably took care of the 3 minutes difference between that set and the previous set that have ended up in the same scoreline. Players having to nip off to the powder room. You can't just wander away. You've got to ask permission of the referee before you head away from the playing area. Strict about that, the referees. Kalialania ready to do the side bump with Igonu, but she was staring down the second official. Going to be a tough way back into the match now for this Olympiacos team. They've decided to leave Carcases on the bench, so Konio and Abderrahim are going to be the 2 left-siders. And we're going to change the setter as well. So Diulio not fit to continue. On comes Iliapolu. So new setter on court and a new arrangement for the left-side players. Abderrahim gets the first attack away, and it'll do, off the block and out. But 2 of the starting players, and 2 very experienced players as well. Carcases in her late 30s, Diulio in her mid-30s, but neither of them on the floor at the start of this 4th set. It's a set that the home side in red, Olympiacos PIRAEUS, have to win. And they're not going to be able to do that against hitting from Igonu that is just world class. I wonder what the percentage of games is where Igonu goes past 20 points. She's done it again today. Wow, nice from Danese. There must be periods of the season where Igonu is 100% past 20 points in phases of matches. Lania to serve, 2-1 Milano. Olympiacos have to work hard here to keep that side out rolling. Out of system ball for Kubera, decides just to volley it over. Bossio underneath it, gives it to Pietrini, and Pietrini finishes. And the points now flowing pretty easily for the Italians. It's all good for this Milano team. The block just so well organised, and Danese, well, she does this for fun at international level. And she really enjoyed that one. Timeout, early one called by Branko Kovacevic, his Olympiacos team in a tricky spot now.
With hand like this, yes. Normal position, it's attack from zone 2, don't be surprised. Milica attack from zone 4, surprise. A nije dobro.
Be careful in these situations. Olympiacos having a good season, and you can do a lot of damage in one single match as a coach if you're not careful. It's a long season at professional level, and you've got to keep everybody, or as many people on side as you can, everybody moving in the right direction. And sometimes you just got to pick your fights, and at the moment, after a brilliant start to this match, Olympiacos are getting outclassed, as it were. Abderrahim with a very nice finish to at least get the scoreboard turned again. Good work from Conio on the deflection. Good finish to beat Fusino. Better pass. Bossio's just looking a bit out of shape on a few of these balls. They come in and then she's getting in some strange shapes in the air. This one was a fast pass, but look, she's way off balance as she makes the shot to, or the set to Denesi. Right, so what Olympiacos need here is just a slight improvement in what they're doing from the service line. They need their side-out game to remain intact, but more than that, they need Milano to have 1 foot on the plane home. That's when you can hit teams hard, when they think the game is done. Chance to get to 4. Bit well out of the back line, and the net touch produces the point for Olympiacos. And this is one such moment. Amanda Conio experienced enough to know that this is an opportunity to just push a bit, just take some risks here for Olympiacos in red. And there we go, scores level, 5-all on the Egonu miss hit. I like to see that from hitters. I like them to be talking to setters about the ball that was good, not only when they make the shot, but also when they miss. Let the setter know whether it was you or them. Very obvious from Bossio, and the read easy. Brilliant blocking. The kicky bot variety, that was unusual from Manolido. I think she was just so desperate to get into the air for a ball she'd read a long way out. And Milano in trouble. And the timeout from coach Brankovic has worked really well. And it's worked well enough for a 2-point lead, and maybe Stefano Lavarini's going to go to a timeout now. He is. What a turnaround, what a momentum shift. Conio with a great shot.
Spingendo su tutte le palle, chiamare queste in anticipo, non sono velocissime, sono lente. Possiamo portarla via prima sta palla. Manteniamo l'attenzione alta. Vai!
Classic stuff, from game over to game on in the space of about 1 minute 30 seconds. Well played, Olympiacos PIRAEUS. Tuzolu with the serve. Better pass from Pietrini, and a nice swing. Just made sure of it, Egonu there, knew that was an important one for her team. 24th point of the match. And a chance to go to 25 if she can find the service. Off pace, into the net. Can't get anything right at the service line for the moment, Paola Igonu. Opposite, as it were. Kubera hits the baseline. No, just long. Had a good game, Kubera. Still a 1-point lead for Olympiacos to work with. Pietrini with the serve, puts it in. Abderrahim, not the best pass. Doesn't allow an attack from Olympiacos. And that one slightly fortunate. But Igonu's earned it. 30 points in the match then, or 25 even, my apologies. 25 in the match for Paola Igonu. 8 apiece, back in it. Easy defence for Fasino. Lania not really going aggressively at that ball. She knew it wasn't going to come all the way out so that she could attack the setter. And just had to come inside on the tip. Good work. Pietrini just made to wait a little bit before this serve. Milano back in the lead then. Good pass from Abderrahim. Good dig from Fasino. Igonu off the hands and away. That's a really nice shot. That's a team shot for me. That, you know, Paola Igonu knew what she had to do with this ball, and she's made absolutely sure of it from a really tough angle to hit. Great work and good dig from Fasino. Pietrini puts a bit of extra on that one. Hits the net. Conio passes well, and it's defended again. And Bossio over on 2. Easy pick for Kubera. Nice swing, and I tell you what, Iliapolu has done remarkably well to set this ball and not go into the net. Doesn't matter about the ponytail touching the net, that's all okay. Kept the rest of her body out. Oh, and the trickle ace means that Olympiacos are level again. Kurtajic beaten by Conio unintentionally. Doesn't matter, crowd are going to celebrate that. Dropper on Lania, well passed by the American, well blocked by, I think, Iliapolu got a piece at that alongside the captain. Emanuelidou again. Oh, no, it was the Emanuelidou right hand that does all the damage. What an up and down set. This is topsy-turvy stuff. Brilliant from Kubera. And gets a go at it. Doesn't fully extend for the attack. And Igonu does and clips the sideline for the point. Unplayable, really. All. Kurtajic, couple of aces in the match. She serves. Running float, puts pressure on Conio. Abderrahim straight into the block. It's played on, but the referee decides it's a lift by Olympiacos. And Danesi with a bit of aggression. Good refereeing. Let Olympiacos off the hook again. Well, we've already had one very closely contested set in the open that went the distance. Olympiacos saving 2 set points to claim it in the end with their own 2 set points, 27-25. Shot. Great dig from Kubera. Nice decision-making from Bossio. Kubera has to go out of system and out of court, unfortunately for Olympiacos. Milano sneaked to a 1-point lead again. That's a good piece of work from the setter. Front court Bossio, and just played it brilliantly. Touched it second. Nice. Well, Kubera is not backing away from the challenge. I've been really impressed with the Serbian today. Serve from the Olympiacos replacement setter. Egonu is doing everything she can for her team right now. This is all about keeping the scoreboard turning, even if you're under pressure on the set, and not giving anything away for free. So she's been really clean through this set, as Egonu, apart from one error. Big block, big block. Danese gets across, hip to hip with Egonu, and shuts down Abderrahim again. World-class middle blocking, not quite hip to hip, was it either? There was a big seam there. Kubera asked to do the job again. Block is all over that one. Good defence from Fasino. Pietrini out-jumps the blockers, but Olympiacos play it on. Kubera gets it low and hard to the feet of Bossio, who defends well. Egonu, chance and taken. And Milano have at last forced a 2-point lead again. Paola Egonu has hit some exquisite balls in this set that are really tough to hit. Absolutely marmalised that one. Numia then with the serve. Still a good front court for Milano. Lots of height, and Fasino is defending beautifully behind the block now. Patience from Pietrini. Too tight. All over it. And a different attack pattern from Bossio is good enough. Lania scores. Nice thinking from the Milano setter. Second timeout. Called by coach Kovacevic. Milano are away. Not sure they're quite clear just yet, but they're in a match-winning position.
We need to be more precise setting high balls, okay? Yeah. We block you middle blocker with right hand. It means it was previous one. It means it's middle. Okay? Just don't do it.
Love it. A last hurrah from the Olympiacos fans. They're trying to raise the team for just one last push as Milano take control of this match. 17-13 then. Lania to serve. The Italians looking good for the win. All over it. Fasino's defence in set 4 has been immense, and finished by Pietrini down the line. On her way to double figures in the game. It's Abderrahim. Oh, brilliant from Fasino. That's an amazing pickup. And a chance for Fasino to bump it wide for her captain, who doesn't finish. Good defence from Iliopolu. And we've got another big rally. Chance now. Kubera once again off the hands, this time with too much power. And Kubera is determined that this one isn't going out without a fight. What a touch. What a stunning piece of volleyball from Fasino. Right, 4 points to try and claw back for Olympiacos before their opponents can get to 25 and take the win. Big serve. Yeah, put away nicely. Passed well by Jalan, who hasn't been involved a huge amount in the game, but she's come in now as the backup libero in the regular shirt, so normal substitution for the French Olympian. But was very, very helpful on that pass. Pietrini defends the angle. Good set from Jalan, and good finish from Pietrini. Double figures for her now. Crowd once again got a little bit quiet as they realise Milano have found their rhythm. 6-point lead. Conio, clever, but out. Did everything right there. Absolutely suckered Bossio in defence. With the line wide open, and she's just lobbed it out. And to be fair to Jalan, she might have got there and defended that. Good serve, Danesi. Good save, Iliopolo on the set. And Pietrini gets the ball recycled. Back to Pietrini. She hits hard off the hands. Oh, it's good movement from Bossio to be available. And a good finish. Very good finish from Paola Igonu. And I wonder what the percentages are of her getting to 30 points in each game she plays, because she's there again. Player that has gone over 40 on a number of occasions in her career, which is a stunning return from a single player. Out of bounds. Oh, Tozzoli's had such a good game. It's a shame that maybe what is her last hit, her last contribution, is out of play. 23-14, Milano nearly home and dry here. One more roll of the dice. And in comes Chrisette Caragiani. 18-year-old middle blocker getting a nice cheer. Under 17, under 18, under 20 Greek national squad player. Making her way into the senior game. Good defence from Jalan. Fine shot once again from Igonu. And there's no messing about here from Bossio. She's just giving it to the big hitter. And essentially saying to her captain, let's get this finished, please, Paola. 10 match points then for Milano. Good defence from Jalan once again. Ball fired wide to Pietrini, who fires it out, going for the glorious finish. No touch, no challenge. Or are we going to get it? Yeah, we are going to get a challenge, are we? Yeah, we're going to get a challenge. Haven't had one for a while. One through the course of set 3 and through most of set 4. I hate it when a game finishes on a challenge, but it's the way the technology works. You're going to have this sometimes. But no blocker admitting the touch. Oh, he's pinged the pinky on the left hand, and Pietrini does indeed have the glory hit. Challenge then unsuccessful. Point to Milano, and Numia Vero Volley Milano win the game by 3-1 against Olympiacos PIRAEUS. A shame for teenager Caragiani. Contribution is to touch the ball as it goes out. Well, 27-25, Olympiacos making a great start to the match, but 25-17 apiece in sets 2 and 3, and 25-14, very strong from Milano to win the game in impressive fashion, and that will do their cause no end of good in Pool C. That might hold off the challenge of Izasubashu. And no surprises, the scoring machine that is Paola Igonu picks up what must be well over 50 MVPs during the course of her magnificent career. 32 points in the game, great leadership. An MVP for Paola Igonu as Milano get it over the line. Well, we're going to stay with you here on Eurovolley TV, see if we can grab an interview or two after this, after the formalities come to a close, and both teams that should certainly be shaking hands and smiling after that one, because that was a massive effort from Olympiacos. There were some stunning rallies in that game. They just did not want to let it go. Very respectful from Vita Akimova there as she moved out of the way so that her captain led the team through the handshakes. Observed. So I would imagine Stefano Lavorini is a very happy man. It's never easy to come away and play in some of these venues in Europe. I knew it was going to be tricky today, and they managed to resist what was a fantastic opening from the home team. They've got an interesting relationship, those two, in terms of their on and off court discussions about the game, but I think they've found a way to work together, and it's effective. And let's not count Milano out of the race for both the European and Italian titles as we move on through the season. The victory photo is with Milano. Tactical discussion continues. Good game from Kubera. In your picture, I thought she put on a very good show. Let's hope that Giulio's okay. And the very experienced Italian setter, just having a chat with her. Well, not that far off. Equally experienced opposite. Let's hope Giulio's arm is okay. Wish her all the best. Olympiacos then in third remain there, and Numia Vero Volley Milano improve their position, and that reaching that 13 points is important, because Izazabaj Dinavit Istanbul will be looking for maximum points against Zelenchka in their next game. That happens tomorrow. They should be okay here, Milano, if they can keep those results going. It means the second game against Izazabaj, the team that beat them first time around in 5, is going to be all important, really, for the final standings in Pool C. Now, we've got our interviewer down there on the floor, ready to go, and he's grabbed Paolo Rigonu, the Milano captain. Let's hear from the MVP.
Great performance by your team, great performance by you. You scored 32 points. One comment.
I'm really happy of how we maintained the focus. Congratulations to them for the first set, because they're really a good team and they put us in a difficult situation. But I'm really happy of how we reacted, and we focused on our game and we improved. So I'm really happy, and that's all. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, good summary and well put by Paolo Rigonu. It was a fine start by Olympiacos, but Milano just stayed patient, trusted the process, and trusted that their high level of volleyball was going to be enough in the end. And an opportunity to get a few selfies with one of the superstars of world volleyball right now, Paolo Rigonu. And why not? And she's a genial character. She's brilliant with the fans. Here's That's all then from Greece and from this match between Numia Vero Volley Milano and Olympiacos PIRAEUS. It is a win for the Italian club. It will keep them in top spot in Pool C. I'll say goodbye and see you again soon.